taking a different approach in terms of how we go about the budget process. And the detail is we want to also have more openness, more input into the budget process. As you note, we're going to get the budget by the 10th of November, and so we have a lot of work to do. And it's been a usual practice to invite the district budget oversight representation, the non-state actors, and the media. So I would implore on you to ask necessary questions, so at the end of the day we will be able to shape the budget in a way that is required. But I just want to note that taking into consideration the big five priorities that were identified by the president, I want you to pay keen attention to those big five, so as we are going along the budget process, we are able to see the alignment. We will ensure that we want to see the alignment on the big five. So without wasting much time, I want to invite the representative from the Cabinet Secretariat to comment the process. But notwithstanding, there is a procedure, the format of the presentation, which I think I don't know if you have highlighted the format. Maybe it will be good for you to highlight the format, what it's going to look like, and so that we can all ensure that everything is fine. So, the director, maybe we should also highlight the format of the presentation. Thank you.
I hope your budget officer informed you in the manner of presentation. We are going to look at updates on 2022 key deliverables, achievements, challenges, and update on your revenue if there are any revenue generating departments. And then we go to update on 2023 as at August on your numbers and revenue projections for the fourth quarter, September to December, and any challenges. Update on your financial budget execution, contracts, commitment contracts, amounts paid to date and balances, progress on policy commitments, the FY 2023 budget speech, key deliverables and achievements. Then we now go to FY 2024, your revenue projections by revenue streams and rates, revised revenue streams and rates, revenue projections on quarterly basis or by revenue stream. Then the FY 2024 budget presentation cover your strategic plan and key deliverables. And this year, we don't want to have more key deliverables that we are not able to cost and achieve. So we are limiting to not more than 5 key deliverables, which will be measurable, and it will also help you, the Cabinet Secretariat, where you are monitoring the MDAs on their performances. So after those presentations, we will now go on discussions and comments. And the discussion will start with the facilitators to give in their input, non-state actors, district budget oversight committee, and the press.
Don't give Ajado.
Yeah, don't give. In order for that fight.
I think
strategic planning is
start from the director of budget. It's basically clear that you want to know where you are, what you intend to do, how you need to align with the key strategic objective, what are your revenue stream. At the end of the day, we want this budget, this activity-based budget, we want it to be costed, so that all of this can be fused into the consolidated budget, which we are going to form. So I want honest, clear questions that can lead to something tangible. So on this note, I want to invite the representative for the Cabinet Secretariat to take us through their presentation.
Yeah. Good morning to this August House. We are here as well to present on behalf of Cabinet Secretariat and the head of the Civil Service and Secretary Cabinet. You realize that after having printed some copies of these submissions, we came to realize that there were a few mistakes like the S and the T, some S's had some problems and all the rest of it. So a few of those will have those problems of the S's or the T's that have not been crossed, to which I will call your attention so that you correct them, because the slide has been corrected and some few copies have also been corrected. Starting from like the discussions, there should be an S. If you don't have an S, that is on the page of instead, the cover page. So it should be a budget, bilateral budget discussions. Yeah, let's go to the next slide. The table of contents are as follows. There we go. This is the table of contents. Then the overview of the Secretariat itself is here. We have a constitutional mandate to support the judicial function of Cabinet, the service Cabinet, in terms of organization of meetings, in terms of taking of minutes of Cabinet meetings, in terms of distributing Cabinet conclusions and Cabinet decisions, and following up and monitoring the implementation of these Cabinet decisions and Cabinet conclusions. And also go from one ministry to the other, or one MDA to the other, to follow up and help directors and permanent secretaries in the development of performance tracking tables, and also help in performance appraisals of those contracts that we signed. So basically, and we are also responsible for supervising, coordinating other MDAs. So those are functions. Basically, that is what we are established for. And our mandate is drawn from the Constitution. The number of sections in the 1991 Constitution was reviewed. Act number 6 of 1991. Act number 6 of 1991. There is no good section where we are. We have a mission statement that says that the Secretariat exists to support the executive, that is the Cabinet, in case to evidence, form, and implementable policy decisions through effective coordination, supervision, and oversight of the civil service. Therefore, as I said, we are responsible for coordinating, supervising, and overseeing the activities of the civil service. And we also help those MDAs in the development of the policies for Cabinet decisions. We have policy objectives, and one is to provide a capable secretariat to the Cabinet and government, consistent with Section 68(1) of the 1991 Constitution, Act number 6 of 1991. We work in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution. That is what this one is saying. And we also have a policy objective of effective policy formulation and implementation across the civil and public service. Our policy analysts review every policy destined for Cabinet. Every policy that we want to make in this country goes to us, and our policy analysts that sit down on that review it before they are submitted to Cabinet for approval and for innovation. We also provide an innovative technological, we also intend to provide an innovative technological infrastructure for a 21st century Cabinet. And that is evident in our effort in trying to establish and operate an e-Cabinet and electronic archiving of Cabinet documents and Cabinet papers. Also to strengthen partnerships and experience sharing with cabinet offices in other countries to enhance function and effectiveness of the Secretariat. We liaise with other countries' cabinets for experience sharing, as it is evident in our participation in Africa Cabinet and Government Network. There is an organization which is called African Government and Cabinet Network. We do participate in that forum as a way of experience sharing so that we are able to get some of their own expertise. We provide strategic oversight and management of the service, as have already been noted in the first slide, and establish a professional and motivated public service. So our objective is also to establish a professional and motivated public service. That is also evident in the facilitation of training through the public and civil service, and our effort in the establishment of the Wages and Compensation Commission. We want to ensure that the public service is motivated with equality or equity. Let's don't call it equality, but equity in salary. And we also embark and facilitate on a lot of training across the civil and the public service. And we also, our objective also is to effectively monitor the performance of civil servants for effective service delivery. In fact, this is what engages us throughout the year, throughout the 6 days of the year. We are almost at every MDA, effectively put to develop performance tracking techniques and productive appraisals and produce a report on those performances. So, another objective is to promote accurate and timely information and knowledge of the civil service and government policy. Whatever happening or pertaining to the civil service or the public, or particularly the civil service, if you go to us, we'll be able to give you an accurate and timely information and knowledge about that. And we support all ministries as well as departments and agencies for timely implementation of cabinet decisions. We have a unit within the Secretariat that is wholly responsible for the monitoring and evaluation of the implementation of cabinet decisions. We call that unit CISU. For FY 2022 delivery goals, successes and challenges, we are one, provide support services for cabinet meetings, which we have been doing all throughout. We have a service in cabinet for the service cabinet for the rest of 2022. We started electronic archiving, which we are just at the leading stage of electronic archiving of cabinet records and documentation. At that time, we intended facilitating the development and implementation of the citizen charter for each MDA, which we are doing, and which we did, and also collaborated with ACC to ensure that it is done, because we are collaborating with ACC on this. Then there was, we intended that time to also monitor and evaluate the activities and outcomes of MDAs and the implementation of cabinet decisions. And we intended to acquire land for the construction of the Public Service Academy, although this went into some kind of wrangling that's very legal issues, because the same land that was assigned for the construction of the Public Service Academy was the same land that was said to constitute against the National Protection Area. I mean, as we can call it, the public park, National Public Park, in the National Public Protection Area Act. So there has been this struggle as over ownership and over the legal ownership of the land itself, one assigned to us, and then later on, 2 years after, it was named as the National Park and was constituted in an act called the National Public Procurement Act of 2012. There are some successes somehow that we are scoring during that period. The Cabinet Secretariat, I will do their best. The Cabinet Secretariat, in collaboration with the Ministry of Information and Technology and the Directorate of Science and Innovation, upgraded the ICT infrastructure of the Secretariat to facilitate the e-cabinet system with the provision of Microsoft Surface Pro 7 laptops and accessible to all ministers. We are able to get that one. We collaborated with the Ministry of Information to procure these laptops, which we gave to ministers. But at that time, it was COVID. It was a COVID period where most of the cabinet meetings were held virtually. So you can even see since the emergence of the COVID-19, all cabinet meetings were virtual. It continues to ensure vibrant and effective interagency collaboration across the public service, as is evident in our cabinet manual. We have a cabinet manual where MDAs are advised to do consultation with relevant stakeholders in the development of their cabinet papers and policies. So that is how we are ensuring a vibrant and effective intelligence collaboration. Any cabinet paper that is to be submitted to cabinet, if there is no aspect of if no consultation has been done with other MDAs that may be connected to what we want to do, we cannot countenance such documents. And also during that period, the compliance level with respect to performance management of senior civil servant in grade 11 and above increased by 23% due to enforced regulation. So like in 21%, 22%, that one is considered level. Then, implementation of new cabinet procedures and processes has transformed cabinet decision making. We have our manual where we have the outline in there, the procedures and processes, and this has actually transformed the cabinet decision making and centralized the role of the cabinet secretary within the government service delivery architecture. So now we play a role in reviews and workshops where we do presentations on cabinet processes, cabinet systems, relationship of ministers with their permanent secretaries, as well as providing technical backstop to strategic planning for all MDAs. We do monitor, we did monitor and reported on the implementation of cabinet vision and strategic government policies, and that actually we said considerably improved. So challenges, there are challenges in 2022, and the first one was the inadequate and untimely disbursement of funds to MDAs, the implementation of the plan activities and the corresponding effective performance. So we are running after the MDAs every now and then. We want them to perform, we want them to do this. But what is really lacking is generically, or you can say the common challenge that every MDA will tell you will be inadequate and untimely disbursement of funds. We may be in the second quarter when first quarter allocations have not already been disbursed to implement. So we have a problem of this one, which is affecting performance, the performance management itself. So unavailability of transportation for staff movement for monitoring the implementation of the cabinet activities and the implementation of cabinet decisions. Since the unit I told you that is responsible for monitoring and evaluating the implementation of cabinet decisions is without vehicles, is without transportation. We also encounter limited capacity in some DAs for policy formulation. Some MDAs have some difficulties in how to formulate policy. Of course, we do offer mentoring in this direction. And we also realize some challenges in reporting on the implementation of government policies and strategies, for which we also offer mentoring and coaching sessions. The emergence of COVID-19, of course, compounded all the challenges of the Secretariat in 2022. And during that time, in fact, there was inappropriate physical facilities for cabinet meetings, since we needed distance for ministers to sit. And when you look at the cabinet room, it was a very small space. So we also had a challenge of lack of funds on that the critical capacity development to ministers and insurance support to MDAs during that time. Although this year we were able to get some funds to do most of the capacity building of the ministers that are appointed, in terms of training them on cabinet systems and training them on how they should relate to their permanent secretaries. So for 2023, first half of 2023, the key deliverables, the successes and the challenge is that the deliverables will provide support service for cabinet meetings, and we provided, will come to the achievement. We intended at that time to plan that we should do electronic archiving of cabinet records and documentation. We also plan to facilitate the development and implementation of the citizen charter for each MDA. And we intended to conduct a nationwide monitoring and evaluation of activities and outcomes of MDAs and implementation of cabinet conclusions and decisions. And also we intended at the same time during that time to acquire land for the construction of the public service academy. I will not give up on that, because for even now when we have not been able to trash the legal issues surrounding the ownership of the land, I think we are intending to see if we can have an alternative land located at Ismail to ensure that this public service academy is used, because this is vital for effective and shared service delivery. So some successes have been scored in 2023. we have been able to do electronic submission of cabinet papers as opposed to when it was submitted in hard copies. We held about 7 cabinet meetings and 1 special meeting. There were 2 induction trainings undertaken, induction trainings on cabinet systems and the relationship between ministers and their performance and the permanent secretaries. We also assisted 207 officers in grades 11 above in the development of their performance contract and conducted media appraisals on these contracts. We made sure that the compliance level of officers in grade 11 and above to the performance management system increased by 10 to 50%, and we were able to monitor and report on the implementation of cabinet decisions by all MDAs. There were challenges that we encountered, and they were number 1, inadequate and untimely disbursement of funds, and the bigger issues I said are surrounding the land assigned for the construction of the Public Service Commission that slowed down efforts in the implementation of the PSA project, and the funds were not available to fully implement the electronic archiving of cabinet papers and documentation. We started that, but there were no sufficient funds, so we have not gone far into that. And there was also this issue of inadequate logistics in terms of vehicles, even for the same things that units that monitor and supervise, monitor and report on the implementation of cabinet systems, and we also have a very poor ICT system. And of course, there are also substantial delays. Substantial delays we are experiencing eliciting information from several MDAs on the implementation of cabinet decisions. You can go there over and over and over, you come, they will reschedule you, go back, they will reschedule you, go back, they will reschedule you. And that is also costing us so much. You may not know the idea of, hey, but go count no more tomorrow, I will be utilizing fear and time to come back tomorrow. And I also should be attending to some other things there, of course, that amount of money that goes on fair to do some other activity. So that is one thing that we also encounter as a challenge. And the unavailability of officers for performance contract signing and appraisals within the stipulated time, that is just like this previous one I have just told us with respect to the implementation of cabinet decisions, where you go, come, every necessity. Okay, then there is this thing that we intend to do in 2024, 5 deliverables. We still want to continue to provide, and we must continue to provide support service to cabinet meetings, through electronic archiving of cabinet records and documentations, facilitate the development and implementation of the citizen charter for each MDA, and nationwide monitoring and evaluation of activities and outcomes of MDAs and implementation of cabinet decisions. And just as I said, we will continue to pursue this issue of acquiring land for the construction of public service academies. So in aspects, that ends the directives. So now we have the how do they call it, the strategic plan and the expenditure analysis. So can we project that?
Let's look at the strategic plan first.
Yeah, well, the strategic plan is on the side where we have the policy objective. This is really the strategic plan that we are calling here. Okay, first of all, the strategic plan. Yes. For 20. Yes, I said strategic plan, sir. So, strategic plan. So we now have the strategic plan displayed. As it is called, the strategic plan to start up for our policy objectives that we stand for and which we want to achieve and which we want to attain. and we highlighted some activities to try to describe some activities that we undertake as a way of achieving these policy objectives, and those activities we have also ensured they are costed and is expected of us. So when you look at them, everything almost that was spoken from this paper are almost also they are provided to secretariats, blah, consistent with the 1991 Constitution, effective policy formulation and implementation across civil service and public service, provide an innovative technology infrastructure for the 21st century cabinet, strengthen partnership and experience sharing with cabinet offices in other countries to enhance functional effectiveness of the secretariat, provide strategic oversight and management of the civil service academy for quality human resources, training and capacity building, effectively monitor the performance of civil servants for effective service delivery, promote accurate and timely information and knowledge of the civil service and government policies, programs and strategies, provide a capable secretariat for government, to provide a capable secretariat for cabinet and government, consistent with section 68 Act number 6 of 1961, provide effective support to all 30 ministries as well as departments and all agencies for timely implementation of their decisions. So when we let's go back. All of this would have to be achieved through these activities. Come down, school and activity result. But the activities are gone. Are you gone?
No, yeah.
Where?
Lisa.
Those are the facilities we intend to undertake as a way of achieving this one. Facilitate the development of service delivery charter for all MDAs, cater for cabinet, facilitate the holding of local and e-cabinet platforms, coordination of cabinet affairs, coordination of civil service affairs, general administration in operational supervisor and evaluating the coordinating activities of the establishment of the public service academy enables for that, monitor the implementation of cabinet decisions, quality screening of cabinet focal persons, monitor visits to MDAs to collect, facilitate and compile information, undertake periodic field trips to project sites. Yeah. And in those are the activities. Those are actually the activities that we have highlighted as a way of achieving all of these objectives, and they are all costed. When you go to the other side of the slide or of the strategic plan, you will see the cost of each activity. Like also general administration and operational cost is there. Now, this is the general overall cost. The summary of the cost of all the activities of the programs, of all the programs. One there is 50 years, 15.3. 15.53. That is 15,000.
No, well,
15 million. 500 attacks. That's why I'm not an accountant, but the accountant has been able to generate.
Yes, okay.
Yes, 15 million. So that is our expenditure. I mean, that is
Let me just take over.
our indicative, and the accountant will further highlight. You will highlight on that. Then, no, before you come in accountants, and before I perhaps take my seat, when you look at all this number, this flurry of activities, when you look at them, you look at the oversight role that we play, you look at the coordinating role that we play, you look at our follow-up activities on all ministries, monitoring, evaluation of all cabinet decisions and conclusions, visiting all project sites all over the place. I think Cabinet Secretariat deserves to have an adequate budget. Those that have been actually allocated to us have been very much inadequate. So I must tell you that we are limited in our capacity to undertake most of these activities. In most times, what they give to us is what we assign for cabinet meetings, because you can't expect HE, who is the chairman of the cabinet, to go and sit in cabinet without refreshment, without all other necessary support. So most times when we service cabinet, which is held fortnightly every 2 weeks, and we also have meetings. We call community meetings which are held every week. and certain times we have special meetings that are called at any time. We look at the cost that will be involved in servicing these meetings. What is being given to us is only sufficient, perhaps, most times, in fact, to just solve this one and nothing else. So we are appealing to this august body to help us in facilitating the approval of what is our submission. So, Mr. Clinton, perhaps you can make so. If there is anything you need to explain in terms of those figures, but if that's not the case, then I'm sure everybody has copies in front of them which they can.
Yeah.
The expenditure analysis.
So can we all talk about stuff on silence, please?
Good morning. I'm Mohamed Rabi Bashar, Senior Accountant, Cabinet Secretariat. I will just run briefly through the expenditure profile for 2022 and 2023. For 2022, FY 2022 approved budget was 3,147,020 euros. We have the actual allocations that sum up to 1,818,000. From there, we have enhancements to facilitate the induction of cabinet ministers of 693,420 euros. When you look at the total allocation, as my director has said, the actual allocation plus the enhancements sum up to 2,515,420 euros. For the second half of 2022, we had 1,343,020 euros. So the total expenditure for the second half also is there, which is 2,511,420 euros. Come down a bit. Okay. Let me just explain for the 350,440 euros. That enhancement was for the training of e-cabinet platform for all the cabinet ministers and deputy ministers. The 343,020 euros was utilized as overseas trip for the invitation of the 41st APAM Annual Roundtable Conference. Let's go to 2020. For 2023, we've just received the first half. We are still tracing the second half of 2023. The first half of 2023, we received actual allocation of 559,500 euros, and we have enhancement of 269,221 euros, which sum up to 828,721 euros. Of course, the money is not enough, so there is no slack there to say you cannot expend it all. We expend everything that was given to us for the first half of 2023, and we are still pursuing the second half, which is in progress. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think out of listen keenly to what has been highlighted. What Cabinet Secretary has said is that there are a lot of plans. Unfortunately, we are challenged because from timely allocation and also insufficient allocation. But we all understand that it's challenging. For me, from an accounting perspective, I would love to look at the base where we are in 2022, how we can progress to 2023. And I noticed that you are calling for a budget this year of almost 15.something billion from an average of 2.5 billion. You want to move
3
billion to
from
15. 3 to 15.
No, the base.
The
He's
three was
talking about
actually
the
what
base
was
for
disbursed.
2023.
What was allocated.
Actually, disbursement is what I would take, not what was projected.
Yeah. Last year projection was 10.
2020, last year project was
Was 10 billion.
approved
Yes, approved.
as per budget.
As per budget.
No, sorry, sir.
Wait, no, wait. What was approved as per the budget presented to cabinet?
3
You have a copy?
point, yes, 3.17.
That was what was approved.
Yes, sir.
And for 2023, the expenditure was 2 points. To this, up to December, what's your projection? 2.7. What has been spent to date?
For 2023,
Yes.
828.
820,
Yes.
you're expecting some other allocation.
Yes, sir, for second half.
The second half.
Yes.
So what I'm saying here is that you want to move from that amount now to 15 billion in 20. That's almost 5 times of what you're getting in 2023. I want to ask a question. Is the economy moving by 5 times from where we are? Is the economy moving by 5 times? The projected growth in terms of the budget, the economy, what's your projection? 5, 10%? 4.7. So we're moving by 4.7. From 2.7 to 4.7. Indeed, people need to understand how budgets are prepared. That's why you're here. I think you're also assigned from the Ministry of Finance. So my expectation is that in big budget, you have to look at what is available, the current capacity of government. We are challenged, as we have been affected by the depreciation of the dollars. We have challenges with the macro level, which I think you should be able to explain to your people. But what is important is that you don't give false expectations at the end of the day. It will impact negative numbers. So my position, generally, I will not go deep into it. My position is that we need to cut our clothes according to our hand. But unfortunately, to move from 3 billion to 15, without even looking at the issues, I think it's critical. But I want to stop here for now, and I will ask the Director of Budget to digress into it. Before I throw the question to the public.
Well, as you have already said, the estimation for 2024 is very unrealistic. You should have looked at your base level before projecting for the following year. But it seems that we have just factored in cost of any activity. So I will not comment much because because they will be coming to me at the last resort. I will let the body make comments on the presentation.
No, you have to wait. Listen to
Take
them.
notes.
Okay.
Take note and you can respond. So, can you please call your name and the institution you are from?
Philip complaining. And look at the budget for 2023.
Okay. Excuse me, I think there is a procedure here. Can you just highlight the procedures that you normally do?
First of all, we throw the ball to the facilitator who will ask questions, and then after the facilitator asks, then we go on to NACs and then to POCs.
Okay, can we comply with that directive? Any question from the facilitators? Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Yes, so ask your
Those
question.
from the Ministry of
Thank you very much, Cabinet Secretariat, for very good presentation. My first question here is whether we are receiving donor funds any activity. And then, secondly, do you have any outstanding commitments in terms of contracts which we expect to flow from 2024? Whether you have made provision for that in your current budget? Then, do you have budget committee? And do you normally meet? And if so, do you have minutes of your meeting which will be submitted to us and the Minister of Finance? Thank you very much. Yes, I want to.
Okay, thank you very much. Just take notes. You don't need to respond. We'll ask another question from the facilitator. Any more questions from the facilitator?
Yeah, hello. I was just looking at the strategic plan. Because sometimes when you follow strategic plan clearly, and even guide the objective. So for strategic plan, we've got about 7 policy objectives, 7 or so, or 8. And then there are expected outcomes. And in between that, there are activities. Maybe there is another level of result that would have helped in getting appropriate budgeting for some activities. We realize that the expected results cannot be achieved by secretariat alone. There are some other players who contribute. For instance, if we are saying effective governance policy formulation and decision making, structures and systems. This is a result that the secretariat cannot contribute to alone. Other players will contribute to it. So if there is an assessment or an evaluation, some other players will need to identify all this. So what will perhaps come to get your results specific will be the immediate result, more or less, or the output. So each of the activities you have highlighted should be able to contribute to an immediate result. Maybe by number of, like you say, coordination, the number of times you get a coordination, how much does one coordination cost? How many times do you want to get that coordination per year? To be able to give you an adequate and appropriate budgeting. So I think we need to look at that. Maybe this is the summary of the strategic objective. But there's the level of the output, and maybe how the strategic policy objectives link to the outcomes. That needs to be clarified. If they are clarified, and then the immediate results, then the assets can be projected appropriately. That's just a comment.
Okay, you can. Please take note. What I want is to let's get all the questions from the facilitator and the non-state actor, then we can answer if we start the delay. So please take note. I hope from our side we are taking note also because we need to answer most of these questions. Okay. One more from the facilitator. You don't have to crowd it, please. Okay.
Mine has to actually do a request. I'm from the Ministry of Planning and Economic Development. We are in the process of developing the medium-term development plan. And I've just been asked by our minister that we request from you people the policy papers that we are sent to. So we are yet to receive these ones. So that's just one. Policy papers, and you are talking about policy documents here, and we also want to have all of these ones from MDAs. Circulars we are sent to you to actually submit those policy papers for us to be able to develop a tailor that document. That's one. And the other has to do with capital budgets. Of course, over the years we've actually been sending those ones, and we really want to, because once those ones are sent, then it will become a pipeline project. Because I had the presenter talking about, land, building offices, and stuff like that. So my presence here is actually to talk about, or to look at your capital budgets. Because what you are presenting here for me more or less is like recurrence. And nothing has been said about capital budget. So that's just my observation. Thank you.
Okay. That's ends for the facilitator. Now we can encourage for non-state actors. Therefore, non-state actor or facilitator?
No, let's start with non-state actors.
Non-state actors first.
Yes.
Okay. And can you state your name and the institution you represent?
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Honorable Kendo from Mayamba, non-state actors, Chairman. I want to thank the presenters. I want to commend them for what they have been doing over the period. I'm really concerned about their challenges. 2023, taking for instance, their deliverables for 2024. Say, challenge number one, inadequate and untimely disbursement of funds, inadequate logistics, people for funding for IT systems, substantial delays were experienced in eliciting information from several MDAs on the implementation of cabinet decisions. If these are challenges, and you have factored them into your deliverables for this year, noting the fact that for financial year 2023, you have not utilized 55% of the approved budget as of 2023. How do you intend to accomplish this objective? We know that year in, year out, budget discussions are driven by policy, and those policies are coming from the MDAs, to which activities are planned and are costed. Somebody was looking at the strategic plan. You have items here that you have to procure. You do not see a procurement plan table here for our attention. These are some of the concerns I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We need two more so that we complete three for each unit. So do we have another one from the non-state actors?
Yeah.
Non-state actors?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this thing is for them. There's one there. Okay.
Yeah, good morning. I'm Ishmael, NSC, CCWC, Kailam. I'm looking at the strategic budget here, the plan here, and considering an aspect of the e-cabinet system or platform. Now, we know the e-cabinet platform is to consolidate all ministries and also coordinate cabinet affairs remotely. But on the 17th May 2022 at Buffets Hotel, meant to understand that the e-cabinet platform has been rolled out. Okay, if that's the case, if it is in existence, why do we have for the e-cabinet platform 2024, why the budget is this amount, 3,335,000, an increment by 1,000 as well, subsequently for the subsequent years? And as well, why do we have also catering for cabinet meeting fortnightly, in as much we want to coordinate cabinet procedures remotely? Why the catering? And at this huge amount, 2,734. Okay. They will also have another budget line, coordination of cabinet affairs, 307. Because I want us to look at the efficiency of us bringing up initiative and how we can make full use of those initiatives. If we want to coordinate cabinet affairs remotely, I believe some of those costs should be cut down.
Okay, one more. Can we get one more, please? District budget officers. Committee. District budget committee member.
My name is Jordan Pierce, Chairman, District Budget Oversight Committee, Western Goa. I would like to draw your attention to the strategic plan, policy objective 1 as against policy objective 8. I think these two policies contribute to the excess overseeing. If you look, they speak the same. Let me read. To provide capable secretariat for the cabinet and government consistent with section 68(1) of the 1991 Constitution, Act number 6 of 1991. We go down to 8, it speaks the same thing, to provide a capable secretariat, so forth. And that has been costed. 2, for each and every policy objective, there should be a subsequent activities to address those objectives. And from the key deliverables tendered to us, there are 5 key deliverables. We are requesting for the acquisition of land for the construction of public service academy. But if you go through the strategic plan, it is not mentioned there. It stands to be corrected. Then, I want to ask whether the Ministry of Finance gave the Cabinet Secretariat a specific budget ceiling, because it should have been spelled out in their presentation that we have given you a specific budget ceiling and you should not go above it. If you have to go above, then you should give justification. I rest my case.
Thank you very much. So which one now? We have done with the district budget. District budget?
Any other district budget?
No. Okay, we'll finish the district budget now.
Right.
Let's go to the. Is it the first? The first now. The first before the state non-state actors.
We are finished with non-state actors. The DBOC, any other?
Okay, one from that one. Yeah, one down there. Yes, you can stand up. Yes.
Church Jansi is the name. This is Budget Oversight Committee member from Bali District. My concern is nothing is mentioned about your utilities, that is electricity and maybe water bills. I don't know if you accrued any amount in terms of your electric bills, water, or you are getting your bills paid from the consolidated fund that you are given by government offices.
Good observation. Please let's go to answer these questions. Now, we want to limit it to the guests. All of us will ask all the questions, please. If there are any challenge in terms of questions, it will be good to liaise with the facilitators. I will also encourage that. But I will, first of all, I will give opportunity to you. You've been keeping on for a long time.
My name is Dr. Johannes Martin. Yes. Now that you are telling us that you're trying to be monitoring activities among what cabinet ministers, cabinet. What other strategies you have already taken if the cabinet give you this 50 billion to see that you really create another innovation so that you can monitor, because what is lacking is monitoring. And you as a cabinet secretariat, you need to really oversee the ministries, and really the key deliverables is what we have to really track. But not necessarily what new are you going to have if you are this is
Okay, thank you very much. This is the last question. The last one, please. Okay? Yeah.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much, Director, for giving me the opportunity to speak. I just want to make an addendum to that. And what I've envisaged within what you encapsulate in your document shows that you are very, very pertinent. And in fact, I would like to just manifest pity for this ministry, the Ministry of Finance, to see how best you can be cascading their money, because they have a lot of vital roles to play in terms of monitoring government projects and otherwise. So I'm just making that play.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I'm a civil society and adjunct professor.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, I think from the guests, we have the guests here. We're going to take 2 questions from the guests. What you do is you either coordinate yourself,
yes,
and I'm going to take 2 questions from the guests. But I'm seeing 3 hands. So what you can do is one of you will answer in the front, and then the second one will coordinate with the other one. So we can have 1 question from the other one. Okay. No. How can you say? Can you give him your question? Okay, the man with the glasses, you can start.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Suleiman Gala from Facebook Times, Newspaper Magazine. First of all, I would like to ask the conference, because spending that huge amount of money, I think is a concern, and details need to be given. Secondly, they didn't tell us whether if they were able to generate a revenue or not, because I think allocating funds to MDAs, it was said that at least they are expected of generating revenue, if not more, at least 10% of the money allocated to them to generate revenue for the government. And lastly, they keep from their presentation the challenges they raise consistently from fiscal year 2023 is inadequate and untimely disbursement of funds on the legal issues surrounding the land assignment. And then assigning to lands, we have the ministry responsible for the sales of land and the allocation of land. What was the collaboration with the Ministry of Lands and the Cabinet Secretariat? Thank you. Is a concern.
Okay. Yes, it comes to this.
Yeah. Good morning. It's been name. I need to post. I'm also here representing the Police Financial Management Journalist Network. We are being supported by partners. I have few concerns. In the very first instance, having read the budget cost article, there are clear instructions to MDAs as to what should constitute their budget proposals. And then looking at all that has been presented here this morning, one of the concerns I have is outstanding liabilities of the cabinet, except if the cabinet secretariat is saying that they don't owe any contractor, there are no liabilities in terms of procurement contracts or what I mean, that is clearly missing in these documents. Secondly, looking at the current expenditure, from my analysis so far of what you expected between 2022 and 2023, it appears as if you have been able to manage the operations within 2 to 3 billion bills. So now asking for 15 billion old bills for me is a concern, and I do not see any justification so far in these documents as to why 15 billion old bills should be approved for just the current expenditure. Looking at the challenges, yes, we recognize there are challenges, but I don't see any significant challenge that should put pressure or impede or constrain, significantly constrain the operations of the cabinet secretariat. Those are just concerns.
Thank you. The last one. Then we'll close.
I'm Sassen Musa, unit newspaper. My question is, there are instances where ministries are amalgamated, like in the case of the Ministry of Information and Communication. A new ministry is created. Sometimes new agencies are created. What does Cabinet Secretariat do to make sure that these agencies or ministries get functioning as quickly as possible so that they deliver the goods? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we've had very interesting questions here. Even myself as a minister, it's been very eye-catching. I want to thank all of you for very deep-end questions. I'll hand over to the Director of Budget. Maybe you can direct now for maybe submission. I know some of these questions you don't need to answer them, but as best as possible, I will encourage the Cabinet Secretariat so the public can know. And once you know, and that can guide us in terms of how we shape your submission once we conclude. So maybe I want to give you a word to the Director of Budget before I get to for them to comment. Okay, you can comment. Thank you. You have given me the grant for you to comment directly. I don't want to usurp his position, so I'm very careful.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, as the budget's been astronomical, moving from 3.7 to 15 billion. But in actual sense, what we submitted as a budget as last year was something around 10 billion.
Yeah.
And what was approved was actually 3.7. And what we are able to access is 1.7. And when you look at the flurry of activities that I have highlighted, the kind of central and integral role that we play in the administration coordination of MDA activities, in our performance appraisals all over the country, wherever we have grade 11 and above, and in helping them develop performance tracking reviews. I wonder how much 1.7 factor to that cabinet secretariat to undertake all of those activities. So it was not like we are giving 10 million last year, and then this year we are asking for 15 billion. We submitted as a budget 10 billion last year, and we are giving 3.7 million. And most of our failure to achieve some of those deliverables were as a result of that inadequate fund that ever was disbursed to the secretariat. And so we are still continuing to ask now for 15 billion, because if you look at the inflationary trends, as of that time last year, when we prepared that budget, you can't call it again 10 billion. And really, it is a genuine project. If we are giving that 10 billion, we are still going to ensure that we achieve all our deliverables. Because we are not even able to get 30% of that amount that was approved, was allocated to us. That is why we may not have been able to achieve most of that deliverable. And all of our deliverables, some of them are routine. They have to continue every year in, year out, like the man, how we call it, servicing of cabinet for every year, every now and then, which is 15. And most of all that we have highlighted that we want to achieve must be achieved, and if they have to be achieved, definitely, ladies and gentlemen, you will see that that money may not be colossal and astronomical as you may think. In terms of the donors, we will not have any donor projects. We will rely heavily and wholly and solely on government sources for all our operations. In terms of whether we have ongoing projects, we don't really have any ongoing projects except outstanding liabilities that we owe suppliers and contractors, which may not be in what we presented, but that would have been an oversight, and that is noted, and we will take care of that in our other discussions with the Ministry of Finance. There is, of course, a budget committee and whole budget meetings, every budget committee meetings every now and then. In fact, the prerequisite for the Ministry of Finance releasing any money to any MDA is like you submit your budget committee meetings alongside, you submit your request alongside your budget committee meetings, minutes of the budget committee meetings. On the idea of the strategic plan summary, objectives, some of other things, not in the or linking the activities to output and outcome that is noted, and in our further agreement with the Ministry of Finance, we expect, we expect to take care of that one. As with this policy paper from the man from the Ministry of Development, we only got that paper on Friday, and we are actually to come for this discussions today. And besides, even when we got it on Friday, we are still to use the Saturday and Sunday because we are always ready to work at any time in our own office. We are still to work on that, but we came to realize that the thing was not addressed to us, but we are only copied. So we do not think it as if we are also to do any presentation on that. But if that is the case, then we'll still go back to our office and see how that will be done in the next few days. Yeah. So, in terms of e-cabinet being rolled out, and therefore there is no need for catering and all the rest of it. Well, I told you that we are only at the initial stage of the e-cabinet where we have already been able to succeed in submitting cabinet papers in soft copies rather than in hard copies that we used to do. But the integration, distribution, and the follow-up on implementation has actually not been digitalized. So we still need that one. And the world all over is really calling for a digital system. So I think, and even this government is actually very much serious and very much emphatic on digitalization. So there is need for us to still continue to complete that project of the e-cabinet. In terms of in terms of, let's say, what the BSA, not in the strategic plan, also that is noted, but you realize that when we are giving you the literature, when we are giving you the literature, it was part of our deliverables in our literature. But again, in our engagement today with the Ministry of Finance, we'll see how that will be taken care of. Somebody was talking about capital budget, and capital budget again from the Ministry of Development. Yes, our only capital budget that we intend to see through is the, how do they call it, the construction of the public service academy, for which we say there are still new arrangements around the acquisition of the land, and for which we are trying to look out for other alternatives. So that's why we are going to be very serious to really prepare a development estimate. Because at one time, we prepared that and submitted it, and we are allocated funds. But because of the legal arrangements, we are not able to utilize that fund because there was still no problem over the ownership of the land. So, in terms of agencies, SOS, that we should let them do whatever. We actually send our boss is the head of the civil service and secretary to the cabinet. We can actually collaborate with the public service agencies, but we are not strictly under our own purview. So we don't have much control over them. The 15 million astronomical will really enhance our own capacity to be able to deliver in actual sense, effectively and efficiently on all of those activities that I said we are involved in. Number of delegates for the trips, well, I cannot say that. I think my accountants will come to tell us how many people went on the South Africa trip. Okay? No revenue, we are not a revenue generation. We are only a coordinating, supervising, and oversight. We only play coordinating, oversight, and how do we call it? Oversight responsibilities. So in fact, what we need is always money to ensure that these things are correct and not generate anything. Then in terms of wrangling over the piece of land and the effort of us in seeing that is when there is Ministry of Lands. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you that the very land ministry that assigned that land to civil service for the construction of the public service academy in 2010 was the same ministry again that facilitated and collaborated in the preparation of the National Protection Agency that gave the same land again for a national park. And when the thing came out, it was a law, and ours was a proclamation. So, and there is a force, and an act has a force of law. So that is how we are very limited in this. That same ministry was the same ministry that sat with us and agreed that we should take the land. And it was the same ministry again that sat with, how do they call this, MPA, National Protection Area Agent Authority, to draft a legislation that had to make sure that same land fall into that national park that they did. So that was how we are. So in fact, in a way to avoid all this wrangling, all this legal, this and that, that's why we are beginning to think about how can we look for another alternative so that we avoid all of this. So I think so far so good. Those are some of the responses I have to your question. Sir? 1 and 8 we are in our strategic plan or duplication, eh? Okay, we'll take care of that one as long as that's
You see the reason for such a meeting. And even myself, I'm now clear what to do. Cabinet Secretary and seen some of your challenges. I know you've given us a budget of 15 billion, millions, 15 million millions. But I just want to note something here. This cabinet for next year, we're starting a new government. Definitely there will be orientation, there is new direction, the way things are going. I know we at the Ministry of Finance have been challenged with the timeliness of allocation, but definitely we will look at your strategic plan, we will look at your budget. We're not going to discard to say because you're getting the budget is 4%, we're going to limit it to 4%. We will definitely look deeply and ensure that you're able to work properly, because the nerve of the cabinet is the cabinet secretary. If the cabinet is to function properly, we need to ensure they're given the right resources and support. So I just want to assure you that I will definitely liaise with the Police Secretariat to appeal, to look at some of the key things to see that you're able to move forward. Because one thing that is very critical is training. I do not see much emphasis on training. As you can see, we have very young cabinets, and we need to train some of these people so that they can be up to scale. I'm looking forward to see more training between the capabilities and more outreach, more monitoring to see how we can ensure that some of these decisions are properly implemented. But I just want to look that we listen carefully, we will take notes of the submissions, and definitely this is not the end. We're going to have another meeting with the Cabinet Secretariat to at least tidy things, so we can come up with a budget that can be able to support you for 2024. I just want to take this, I don't know. So yes, at this point I want to put it to the participant to move a motion for the adoption of this particular delegation for us to conclude. Is it a question or you want to move the motion? Okay.
The mic is on.
Good afternoon all. My name is Ibrahim Isaac Mansari, working for Center of Environmental Operations and Functions as civil society. I want to move that the Ministry of Information, I'm coming. I want to move that the Ministry of Finance give the budget to the Secretariat for their primary functions. I hope all of us will, be in a way that to support the Secretariat.
Any seconder? Any seconder?
Yes.
Your name, please.
Power from Denmark. I seconded the motion that Ministry of Finance will support, give more support to the Cabinet Secretariat for them to enhance and for them to do effective work.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think this has been very good. And Cabinet Secretariat, it's left to you now to go and tidy up your work and come back to the Ministry of Finance. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As we done on the first set, we just done the first set, and Cabinet Secretariat. We're done. We now can discuss the budget, and now we'll go lunch. First, we come by 2 o'clock. We will forget the National Investment Board, SLIPA, Corporate Affairs Commission, Public-Private Partnership, and Business Registration Division. This and Unity Broadcasting.
An official letter from Ministry of Finance. I'm repeating it again. Please, Doctor.
So now we'll go for lunch, and by 2 o'clock, and we'll come back live. We will get a member from the National Investment Board, SLIPA, Corporate Affairs Commission, Public-Private Partnership and Business Registration. And also, we go for the National Public Procurement Agency and Independent Procurement Review Panel. This is Unity Broadcasting. We are stating as we go off now as we therefore count on back by 2 o'clock. Thank you.